Hey guys, so I get a comment at least every day saying, oh, didn't you have a boyfriend? What happened to your boyfriend? So get ready for me while I talk about how I got broken up with. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with what I did wrong first because I don't want to make myself look good the entire time. And honestly, this isn't even wrong, it's just what led to it. Okay, so does anybody know that trend where you post on your story, slide up for a cookie, and then you go and silly string people? Okay, so I posted that. And I was with a group of friends, mind you. So my friend's neighbor, that's a guy, slides up on the story. And he's like, oh, we want a cookie, da-da-da-da. So we go to his house to give him the cookie and silly string him. Obviously, me being the good person I am, I communicate that. And well, he doesn't like that, so he makes this whole argument. And I told him 2 days later whenever we hung out because I didn't tell him over text. And so he makes me take him home and everything. And so then that whole week, he doesn't text me or anything. And he's sending me the most dry snaps of the wall. And then he tells me, I think it was on a Thursday, that him and his friend were going to the mall with these two girls after I had asked him to hang out. So I was like, okay, what the heck? I'm literally done. And so then after he gets back from the mall, he texts me, hey, I don't think this is working. I need to focus on basketball. Mind you, he's on the sophomore team too. I don't know what you're focusing on. But yeah, something along the lines of that. It was really stupid. He said he wanted to focus on basketball. And I was like, there's absolutely no way I'm getting broken up with like this. I was honestly so embarrassed for myself because I got broken up with because somebody wanted to focus on basketball. And so obviously I'm confused and really freaking upset. This guy I'd been dating for 7 months breaks up with me because he wants to focus on basketball. And he's not even that good at it. I can now see why he wanted to focus on it. But anyways, not the point. I was really upset about it. So obviously, I begged him to stay. Which is, really embarrassing now that I think about it. Because, I don't know. That's just don't do it. I don't recommend it. If they want to leave, let them leave. And that clearly didn't work. Anyways, so I think I want to say a week goes by. And he sends me a video of him on Snapchat at a party saying, you with all his friends, I already fucked 2 girls. And I was like, damn, you must have no self-respect. I honestly wish I would have screen recorded that, but I didn't. And mind you, that was only a week after we broke up. That is basically just as bad as cheating. And if he got with someone so soon, that girl was there the whole time. And then he found out I kissed this other guy, and he was like, oh my gosh, that's such a downgrade for real. I kid you not, he was so pressed. This boy's ego is bigger than the 2 biceps on his arm. He still has a big ego now. He literally thinks he's fit. It is honestly so annoying. I hate guys with a big ego. My friend sent me a photo the other day, and it's a picture of his public profile, and it says the streets are calling. I'm sorry, but just because you pulled me doesn't mean you're gonna pull other girls. I'm sorry, but the only reason I'm being such a hater right now is because of how dirty I got done. And I literally do not care for his feelings at all.
If you want to know what it's like to have divorced parents, here's a story for you. When I was 16, I wanted my nose pierced so bad, and neither of my parents wanted me to have it done. However, I was not going to be taking no for an answer. I started by asking my mom because I thought she was going to be much more lenient and eventually cave. She said no, but then after begging and begging, she finally said, ask your dad. It's important to note that my mom and dad do not speak. So I call my dad up and I ask him, can I get my nose pierced? Immediately I'm thinking I'm cooked because there's no way he's gonna say yes. But to my surprise, he pulled out, what did your mom say? My immediate instinct was to start lying, but for some reason I didn't. I told him that she said no, and he immediately said, okay, you can get it. You can imagine the shock my mom was experiencing when I told her my dad said yes. And now I have a nose piercing that both of them hate.
Story time on how my dad robbed a Best Buy. So we're in 9th grade. I feel like most of these stories take place in freshman year. I played basketball freshman year, so I had to be at school by 4:50. And after I had got ready, I went downstairs to go get water and make a little snack. I came downstairs to what looked like a tech store in my living room. I think there was 6 flat screen TVs or more. Everything was divided by brand, so Samsung, Apple, Microsoft, things like that, but he put it into piles. and then divided it by what it was: iPads, laptops, phones, iPhones, PCs, TVs. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, so I went back upstairs and then came back downstairs again just so I knew it was real. I was so out of it. Like, I know he leaves at night and then like goes and does whatever he does, but the fact that he had brought all that stuff back to my apartment and like where his kids stay, well, not his kids, just me and my sister, but like, you know, he really did not care. Never. So I went on about my morning and he dropped me off at school. When I got off of school though, I went home and my living room was empty and he wasn't there. So me and my sister, we were in my room and I was telling her about all the stuff that I had seen this morning because she went to school later than me. And all of a sudden we get called downstairs. It was so weird because he called us down. He was like, "Girls, come downstairs." And he, like I said, he would hardly talk to us, let alone call us downstairs for anything, because he never had anything for us. It would only be if he wanted something. We headed downstairs and he took us outside, which I know our hearts dropped together because we would not stop staring at each other. And then he opened the trunk of his car. So from my knowledge, I thought everything had been dispersed, sold, or given away. But it turned out he had a trunk full of Microsoft laptops and Apple iPads, as well as the Samsung 7 Edge or 8 Edge. I don't know, I forgot. It had just been released though. He had a bunch of those. So it was kind of weird, like seeing everything, because he never talked to us about what he did or anything like that. But he had told us that we were allowed to pick a laptop each, a phone each, and then that we could share an iPad together. So I had got a pink Microsoft touchscreen flip, like it turned into a tablet too, laptop, and my sister got a gold version of that. Then we both also got 2 Samsung Galaxy 7 Edges that we both sold for money because we already had Apple iPhones, and we also got an iPad this year. It wasn't too long after that he ended up being arrested, which is crazy because it wasn't for the technology. It was for him breaking into somebody's house. That is today's story time. What's even crazier is that he made so much money off of all that tech, and then he got pulled over and the cops took it. And not took it and typed it in and submitted it to the jail. They just took it and pocketed it. Basically my college tuition.